this is the correct reading of psychoanalysis. It's absolutely not this spiritual self-examination, which is why I hate life. I'm sorry, I will turn it off. I wanted to blame somebody else, but you know, I have to blame the other in me, the foreigner in me. Okay, so. Remember, I'm coming from an area which is close to Balkan. So, if you want to start exchanging insults, I can be extremely brutal. I always win. But let's not do it today, maybe.
Any of his justifications for the actions of Iraq, or any of John Howard's justifications, is there anything like that?
I can't speak for John Howard. I don't know how fundamentalist he is, but I'll get you
Okay, I'm going to change tack. I'm going to change. No, I'm sorry. I'm in charge here.
No, but
I'm sorry. Let's move along. Our next question comes from Eleanor Doyle Markwick.
This question is again for Slavoj. You're a supporter of... I apologise, Tony. You're a supporter of Julian Assange. I too support his push for...
Even with children, you discover this. Like, my son is younger one, the older also, is definitely a neighbor to me. Like, once I was mad at him in a friendly way, and I shouted at him, a Serbo-Croat, Serb rather, vulgar, how do you call it, schimpf word, because we Slovenes are a nasty nation, and this is very dangerous. We don't have our own dirty words. We have to borrow them. So I shouted at him, jeboti pas mater, which means, if I translate it, let the dog fuck your mother. It's ordinary. But then my son became a neighbor. You know what was his answer? It's important, you will see why. At that point, he was 14 years old. Instantly, without reflection, he told me, but it already happened, that's how I was born. Like, I was the dog, you know. I admired him because it wasn't like, oh my God, what should I say? Instant answer. Okay, then he did something which was very flattering for me, but somehow ruined the effect and made me. Because immediately after that, he looked at me with a smile of complicity and said, Father, did I say this well? You know, it was so tragic, you know, like he really wanted to. And I almost cried, like I thought for a moment you were a true neighbor, evil and so on, and now you are just another good guy. So, I would like to agree with you, but my evil nature pushes me in the opposite direction.
You don't love me?
Sorry?
You don't love me?
I take the Fifth Amendment. I refuse to answer because the answer may incriminate me and so on.
Also, you're pledged to Lady Gaga, or so they say.
This is a mystery. I'm an old conservative who thinks that everything that happened in pop music happened between 65 and 75. That's another story. Our standard joke is what? And we are really like that. You know, a fairy, you know, the stupid magic entity who fills your wishes, comes to a Slovene farmer and asks him, I will do whatever you want to you, just remember, I will do to your neighbor twice as much, no? You know what is Slovene farmer's answer? Take one of my eyes. Because then, and this is the basic Slovene principle. If I get a little bit, but the neighbor gets more, no, it's better if I lose a little bit, just that the neighbor loses more. Okay, these are we Slovenes, no? Then the Montenegro friend, I remember, immediately jumped in and said, you know, Montenegro, they have earthquakes and their clichés lazy, no? You can imagine what was his story. You know, how does a Montenegro guy masturbate, no? He digs a hole in the earth, puts the penis in and waits for the earthquake, no? He's too late, but you see how it works even now. I claim this, now we are enacting the true brotherhood and unity. This is how it works. Even with children, you discover this. Like, my son is younger one, the older also, is definitely a neighbor to me. Like once I was mad at him in a friendly way, and I shouted at him, a Serbo-Croat, Serb rather, vulgar, how do you call it, schimpf word, because we Slovenes are a nasty nation, and this is very dangerous. We don't have our own dirty words. We have to borrow them. So I shouted at him, jeboti pas mater, which means, if I translate it, let the dog fuck your mother. It's ordinary. But then my son became a neighbor. You know what was his answer? It's important, you will see why. At that point, he was 14 years old. Instantly, without reflection, he told me, but it already happened, that's how I was born. Like, I was the dog, you know. I admired him because it wasn't like, oh my God, what should I say? Instant answer. Okay, then he did something which was very flattering for me, but somehow ruined the effect and made me. Because immediately after that, he looked at me with a smile of complicity and said, Father, did I say this well? You know, it was so tragic, you know, like he really wanted to. And I almost cried, like I thought for a moment you are a true neighbor, evil, and so on, and now you are just another good guy. Murmur of the Heart, it's one of those nice, gentle French movies where you have incest, which is portrayed as a nice secret between mother and son. I like this. So, I just love watching movies. I must confess that I cheat sometimes. If the movie drags on, I do a little bit of fast forward or whatever and so on. But Buddhist justification for it. To amuse you very shortly, you know D.T., Daisetsu Suzuki, when we were young hippies, the glorious propagator in the hippie West of Buddhism. He not only fully supported Japanese invasion of China, but he faced this problem. I have to kill you in war. He said, if I remain caught in the illusion of Maya ordinary reality, I perceive myself as an agent killing you. I may hate you, who knows, but it's difficult for me. Then he says, if you go through a Buddhist enlightenment, you see that you have no self, you became a passive observer of your acts, and I no longer perceive me stabbing a knife into your eye as my act, but just as he puts it, my knife is dancing around, and in the cosmic dance of phenomena, your eye seems to stumble upon it. And I'm doing it for nothing. What is psychopath? You come in? Physics, of course. Ha 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 ha. It means welcome to welfare, to socialist wealth. Good, honest guy. I start to shoot at the animals. Then I love this one, American Army. You know, this one, I bought it, I don't know where, but it's beautiful. You can open it, you see, and put soldiers in, so that then he attacks me from there. He destroyed this castle that I had here. This was his original, but the structure is very precise. It's incredible how you think it's chaotic, no? But he's the big wise guy. He observes. Here, he's very pro-feminine. He wanted to have a woman as the boss, the queen. Then he said, but she would be alone. Why not have two girls? This is the two girls talking. You see, lesbian, progressive, politically correct, and so on, no? Two lesbians, and but I like this one. Isn't this a beautiful one? I bought it in Greece. A kind of a nice old Rome.
Isn't it true that you advocate outsourcing sex so other people can have sex on your behalf?
No, I'm quite romantic here. Unfortunately, a bad taste joke. What I am advocating quite seriously,
like
and then I will stop, is love. Naive love. I claim I have nothing against sex without love. But I think the structure, like we usually say, what is masturbation? You do it to yourself just with the partner you are dreaming about. But what if
it's sort of mental outsourcing.
Yeah, but most of our real sex, I think, is masturbation with the real partner. You have a real partner there, but you just use the real partner to realize your dream. So is all sex like that? No, it's love. Which is why today I claim, this is very old-fashioned romantic idea, What is transgressive is not sex. You can do it with animals, with dogs, with cats, no problem. Falling in love is a problem, which is why, as I mentioned yesterday, more and more you have these dating and marriage agencies advertising their services in this way. We will enable you to be in love without falling in love, without the fall.
Okay.
Like, everything will be said. The best respectful religious joke that I heard, maybe you know it from some of my earlier books, was among the Christians of Palestine. Very tender jokes that I like about Jesus Christ, like just one non-obscene one. I love it. I heard this from a Christian Palestinian. I like this total historical inaccuracy. Jesus Christ gets tired of his preaching, and he takes one of the apostles. Let's go to Galilee Sea and close to it, let's play golf. Okay, Christ is playing golf there. He makes a hit, misses it, the ball falls into the sea, lake, water. Okay, Christ being Christ, he of course walks there on the water, reaches, comes back. And then the apostle says, but listen, Jesus, this is a very difficult hit. You will probably fail. Even, who is your big player, the black guy?
Tiger Woods.
Even Tiger Woods wouldn't maybe be able to do it. And Jesus said, fuck Tiger, I'm God, I can do it. So he hits it again, it goes again into the water. So he walks on the water again, and that I like. Doesn't want to be just part of circle of life, whatever. You know what is the circle of life. I hate it. It's, you know, I think it's the most oppressive ideology you can imagine. It's my old joke, maybe you know it. Did you see, I hope you didn't, The Lion King? And you know where you find there the song, The Circle of Life? Precisely when the son asks his father the obvious question, is this right that we lions eat zebras? And father, it's easy when you are on the top, sings the song, which is, it's all the circle of life. We eat zebras, but we will die, we will turn into dust, our flesh will feed grass, and grass will be eaten by zebras. So it's all one big circle of life, no? So all I'm tempted to say is, imagine in Beautiful Life, the movie by Benigni, the son asking him, father, but why are Germans killing us Jews? And I can well imagine Roberto Benigni singing back, it's all one big circle of life, you know. Jews are killing us, but we will die, and we will turn into food, our manure, for grass. Grass will be eaten by cows, and one of us will kill a cow, we will eat the cow, and so it's a big circle of life, you know. Like, you know, what's the point here? The point is, yeah, but what if there are different circles of life? You know, like, maybe, let's hope, there is a circle of life where you exactly don't have to do Holocaust. No, let's hope. No. So